Hi, this is Mike McNamara with Proper Rate Mortgage. How are you? Thanks for spending part of your day with me. I wanted to share some information with you that I think you'll find helpful as you prepare for the process of becoming a homeowner. Or perhaps you are going to be a repeat homeowner and you haven't been through this process in a while. That being said, I want to chat with you about buying the property. You want to buy a home, but what are the things that hold you back? So when we connect again, I want to hear from you as to what troubles you. What are the concerns you have about buying a property and being a homeowner? And I want to help kind of walk you through those things and overcome some of those problems that you may have. Number two, I want to know you want to buy a house, but does the house fit into your budget? And so here's my question I propose to you that I'm going to talk to you about. What monthly payment do you feel that you can afford comfortably that will allow you to continue to save for retirement in the manner in which you already are now or in the manner in which you want to be? And then when your realtor finds you the perfect property, it's naturally going to be higher on that price range of yours. So my follow-up question is, are you willing to go above what you just state as your ideal payment? And if so, where are you going to cut yourself off? What's the maximum you're willing to spend on a monthly basis? Because those are going to become our bumpers in helping you set the parameters for your home search. I work with a team. You may have spoken with Claire on my team, and she sets appointments and schedules time for us to talk. But I also work with a mortgage consultant, and his name is Derek. When Derek reaches out to you during the process, you have to make sure you're on it and responsive to him, because his only job is to make sure your loan is perfect and ready for underwriting. So his job is to be in touch with you and help you to make sure that everything is ready to go for underwriting. And the third person is my loan coordinator, and that is Amber. And Amber will reach out to you once your loan is approved. And if there are any loose ends that need to be, taken care of before we go to closing, she's going to walk you through that. For example, homeowners insurance, we need to make sure you have finalized it at that point. So she'll be in touch with you regarding that. There are 10 steps involved in getting approved for a mortgage. And the first step is the mortgage pre-approval itself. So that's what we're doing right now. And when we connect again and we run numbers, we're going to do all the math so that by the time we're done talking, I want you to be able to do step 2, which is to make your offer. And I want you to be able to do it with 100% confidence. I want you to be able to write an offer with your realtor feeling really good and strong, and that this is the right thing for you and your family. So by the time we're done calculating numbers and talking through all of the different options, you'll be able to do step number 2 and do it with confidence. Number 3 is what I call the protection phase. It's a home inspection. So your realtor can give you a name of a good home inspector, and you're going to want to take a half day off work or what have you and meet your inspector there and actually look through all the little details and nuances of that property. That inspection is going to uncover if there are any, issues, and expect that there will be issues. There will be several. I mean, my own honey-do list on my house is like a mile long. So expect to see a pretty long laundry list of items that come up on the inspection list. But most of those things are ticky-tack things that don't really affect the market value. But what does affect that market value is the major things, like if there's foundation issues or plumbing or roofing issues, and your home inspector will highlight those so that you can then go back to the seller and ask them to either fix those things or ask them for a credit so that you can get money from them and you can fix them. The second protection in step 3 is the home appraisal, and you're not involved in that. We do that independently, and we'll send you the report when it's done. And that home appraisal protects you from overpaying for a property, because if you do, we're going to tell you that you did, and we're going to give you the report to back it up. And if you did in fact overpay, then you'll be able to go back to the seller and either renegotiate or get your money back and walk away. Most of the time people meet in the middle if that happens. It's not very common to have appraisal issues, but it does happen on occasion. Step 4 is attorney review. So if there were issues with your home inspection, your attorney is going to use this time period called the attorney review period to help you negotiate and work with the seller to see if they're going to help you and give you maybe a credit to fix things or fix them for you. Once that's complete, then you're going to move to the underwriting phase. And underwriting is when we send all of your paperwork to a human, and that person is going to review everything and decide if you are eligible for that loan. Are you capable of making your payments on time? There will be questions that underwriter asks you, and so I want you to be prepared that you're not being picked on. Underwriters, they're going to ask questions. They want to make certain that if you're going to borrow $2 or $3 or $4 or $500,000, you can definitely afford to do it and pay it back. Once the underwriter is done, we're going to ask you to finalize your homeowners insurance if you haven't already, so that we can then get what is called the clear to close, which is step 7. Having that clear to close is an important milestone. We need to notify the seller that you have achieved that milestone so that we can then close, which is step 8, 9, and 10. On the day of your closing, so step 8 is what is called the final walkthrough. You're going to literally go through the property and make sure it looks the same as the last time you saw it, so that that you can be comfortable going to your closing, know that the property's in the same shape as the last time you saw it. Step 9 is the closing itself. So typically you go to the walkthrough, and when you're done with your walkthrough, you go right to your closing. And here's where things are a little different right now. You may meet your attorney at the closing, and sometimes the attorneys are phoning it in, literally, because of the pandemic. So you may be sitting at the title company by yourself, and your attorney's on the phone with you, walking you through each document. When you're done signing everything, there'll be a little bit of a wait, probably an hour. And once you've completed that wait, that's when we give authorization. Behind the scenes, we're basically evaluating everything you signed. And then we give authorization to the title company to fund your loan. And then that seller gets their money. And once they have their money, they slide the keys across the table and you become the homeowner. So now you get to do step 10, which is move in. Hooray, congrats. All right, so next is a list of paperwork. There are 4 basic things you're going to need to get things started. You're going to need your most recent 2 years tax returns, your most recent 2 years W-2s that go with them, the paycheck stubs, your most recent 2, and then your most recent 2 bank statements for all of your different accounts: savings, checking, retirement. There are 3 categories of information that we analyze when we underwrite your loan, and it's cash, credit, and income. So we will talk about those 3 things specifically. They determine whether you are going to be eligible to do a conventional loan or a government loan or a portfolio loan. And we want to be able to do a conventional loan because it's the most cost effective, but if we need to do a government loan, like an FHA loan, or if you're a veteran, you can do a VA loan, which is the best loan on the planet, really. And we'll talk through those options. Some do's and don'ts. You got to make sure you're staying current on all of your accounts. Go ahead and use your credit like normal, unless I give you specific instructions to change or tweak things. But if I don't, please don't touch anything regarding your credit unless we talk specifically, because tweaking things with your credit can actually make your credit score go down temporarily. Number 3 is to tell us everything. So I need to know everything about your finances, the good and the bad, the bumps and the bruises. If you surprise us with something down the road, it's going to get uncovered at some point anyway. What we don't want to happen is to not have any time to be able to overcome those things and still close on your home purchase on time. So please be transparent with us about everything regarding your finances. And that includes things like, hey, all of a sudden, your aunt or uncle decides to give you some extra money for down payment. That's a great thing, of course, but we need to know it, because you can't just surprise us and have a large deposit go into your bank account. Number 4, tell us if anything changes about your finances, if your job is going to change, anything about your income, if your savings or your credit. Make sure that you have that open line and transparent communication with us, because it will affect your ability to get the loan and could affect the timing of everything. A couple of don'ts, and you can read this and pause this and take a look at this at a later time. But again, you don't think you're doing yourself any favors by changing or tweaking things with your credit for right now until we talk, because again, it can make your credit scores go down. Are you ready to fly? Buying a home is like being on a flight, and I'm your pilot, and my team is the flight crew. And sometimes when you're sitting on that flight, things get bumpy. What's that bumpy stuff called? Can you remember? Of course, it's turbulence, right? Turbulence it's going to happen in your real estate transaction. I don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but there is always turbulence and bumps on your real estate transaction. When that happens, not if, but when, I promise you that I'm not going to put on my own parachute and jump out of the airplane and leave you stranded. That's not happening. I'm really, really good at helping you navigate turbulence. And I'm going to do it in partnership with your realtor and your attorney. So just be prepared for the turbulence and we'll walk you through it. Lean on us when you feel it, okay? Lastly is my phone app. And I just want to create awareness of this. The next time we connect, I'm going to download this to your phone and show you how to use it. On the bottom left, you'll see where it says calculator. It's the most useful tool in this thing. It is fantastic. You are going to love this. I'm going to show you how to calculate monthly payments on every property, and it's going to be accurate. So you know if you're sticking within your bumpers, your guardrails for your comfort zone and your ability to make your payments and your budget. Again, the most important thing is, can you afford this monthly payment and does it fit in your budget? Meaning, can you afford to save for retirement along the way? All right, with that in mind, we will be chatting in the near future and I look forward to that day. Take care, bye.